Real bad man, now we people dance. We take dancing to a higher rank. With pen pound and with pen frank. Shut up a new dance and a Jamaica and drunk. On the river, on the bank. Kick out your shoes because you put them no camp. When you step in the river, on the bank. Shut up a new dance and a Jamaica and Bronx. Yeah, down the flank, we a go down the flank. Like a baller, we go down the flank. You cheap pretty young, get in your tank. But the new dance, you know where people can't pull. Give them a run, give them a run. Give them a run, we and the girls that have done. Give them a run, give them a run. Give them a run, we and the girls that have done. I've been loved that before, yeah, but I've never seen a dance like this. I've been loved that before, yeah, but I don't wanna come top to this.
What is up, people? What is going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Smokin Potcast, and I got a good one for you today. But you know how I like to do it. I like to give you guys an idea of what I'm smoking and just give you a little bit of education on the weed. Because like I said, there's a bad stigma towards it still, and I just want people to understand that it has a lot of medical properties. So today I will be smoking Grape Gas. It's an indica dominant weed strain made from a generic cross between purple halitosis and the one. Grape Gas number 7 is 21% THC and 1% CBG. Should be CBD, but okay. Now, usually I like to have my weeds anywhere between 25 to 30% THC, so it's a little bit low, but you know, it's a good strain. Making this strain ideal choice for casual and experienced cannabis consumers. Leafy customers tell us Grape Gas number 7 effects include talkativity, uplifted, and aroused. Medical marijuana patients often choose Grape Gas number 7 when dealing with symptoms associated with anxiety, depression, and bipolar disease. So that's what I really wanted to focus on, is that a lot of these weeds that we smoke is not just to get high. It helps out people with anxiety, depression, bipolar, helps me with my migraines. So I just wanted to put that out there. But we're going to get into the show because we have a great show for you today. We have the Director of Robyn Hood. Director X is in the house. Let me just bring him in. What's up, man? Thank you for popping in. Much appreciated.
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. You see what it is? You see what's going on out there?
I do. And that's why I wanted to, because like I'm a small YouTuber, right? And I figured, you know, let me try and reach out and see what we could do, because I was watching CTV News. That's how I figured out what was going on. And I seen your interview over there. And when I saw your interview, you called out 2 YouTubers in that phone that you showed, which was Drunk 3PO and Jeremy. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let me see what we can talk about and get into this situation and try and figure out what the problem is, right? So.
I mean, we know what the problem is. You know what I mean? On a couple levels, there's levels to this.
Right? Absolutely.
I think, I mean, should you want to give people watching a background? You want to set this up for everybody?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell them.
All right. So I created a show called Robyn Hood. It's Robyn with a Y. Okay, and it is the tale of Robyn Hood made for today, modern day. It's now a trigger word for people, right? A modern retelling triggers these guys. And it's a girl, because it's with a Y. And it's a black girl. And she's also bisexual. So from the moment this was announced, a year ago, from the moment it was announced, right? Bounding in the comments did a story on it. And a couple of YouTubers, Ryan got on there, Geeks and Gamers got in there, and Heels versus Babyface, all did little things. Oh my God. And they read the press release really snarky. She's going to make music and fight for the community. And they made it a snarky thing. But from the very beginning, they knew they hated it. It's a woman, so it's a gender swap, which everyone's triggered by, a race swap, and it's a retelling, a modern retelling for a modern audience, right? So immediately they're like, this is going to be horrible. It's going to be woke bullshit. Then we announced the release date. Tons of these guys. I mean, if you go Google Robyn Hood before, so a month before it comes out, video after video after video, big channel, small channel, everyone makes a video about Robyn Hood, how it's going to be horrible. And then Robyn Hood came out, and guess what? You'll never guess. They hate it. Mm-hmm. Surprise. Mm-hmm. Big surprise, right? Mm-hmm. So these guys now, and they're making reviews, but then the reviews are all like, every word, they stop the video, every word. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, it's hilarious. It's horrible. I do handheld, it's shaky cam. There's a scene with the mother, and this is when I knew these guys were serious. There's a scene when Robyn gets up in the morning, and she came home late. She's out doing, she wants to be a rapper. She's shooting some music video. They wear these masks. They get in trouble with the cops. And the mother says, "You came in late, man. I got condoms in the condom jar." Right? And she goes, I was at Alan's house. I was at my boy's house. She goes, "Man, just don't catch nothing." Ha, 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 ha. They start laughing like it's the funniest thing they ever heard. I'm like, all right, you guys aren't serious. Mm-hmm. And they defend this behavior. Like, no, that's funny. It's not funny. Stop it. Y'all, like we can't see when people are reaching, right? So within their own bubble, they like to preach to the choir, right? So within their own little bubble, they have these shit that ain't funny, shit that's clear to everybody else, and they rating bombed or review bombed the show. So the show has 4,000 something votes. Over 3,900 plus of them are 1-star votes.
Okay. We're going to get into all of that, right?
That's a review bomb.
Yeah, 100%.
Review bomb.
100%. I agree with you. And I did watch your interview with H Reviews, and he was saying that it could be review bombed the other way because you had the 10 stars, right? Which I agreed with that. But I'll also say that also you got to understand that a lot of people follow these guys, right? And usually when you follow someone, it's because you agree with a lot of the things you say. So some people can go into this being tainted already without even watching it, and then watching it, remembering what their YouTuber friends said and be like, oh yeah, that's right. And then boom, they're going to put that type of review up on there as well, right?
They're there to hate it. They're there to, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because the show doesn't have any mention of race. Well, they never talk about being black. They never talk about they don't talk about none of that, right? So then they're looking, well, it's the way it's cast, okay? And then they conveniently forget some things or ignore some things. So it's all the good guys are black, all the bad guys are white. That's not true. The two main white, there's bad white guys, yeah, but Redcap, he's one of the deputies, he's mixed race. Well, now he's white because they want the narrative to be white. You feel what I'm saying? And look, the review bomb on the other side, you can't compare 110s to 3,900 ones. Stop. And those are in response to their first, you know what I'm saying? To say, yo, this guy hit me in the face, so my friend punched him. This guy attacked me, so my friend defended me. Go, well, he hit me. Motherfucker, you attacked me.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
It ain't the same, though. It ain't the same. Well, here's the thing. Because I went and said, I'll talk to them. I'll talk to you. Right? Now they don't want to talk. Suddenly now they're not. Right? These are the same man who said, yo, the problem with your show making Robyn Hood a woman is that you're diluting manhood. You're taking male heroes and shutting them down. And now young men don't have male heroes to look up to. All right, you're in Montreal, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, in Toronto and in New York, where I've lived, if you're out talking about somebody, if you heard I'm talking about you and talking about your business, and you saw me out, what are you going to do?
Approach.
Yo, X, what's up? Something you want to say to me? Because that's manhood. But these boys now, well, you might say I'm racist, so I don't stop this. You can't say the problem with my show is I'm diluting manhood and not be a man about it when I say I want to talk to you. This is how this works, bro.
And I hear what you're saying too, and I understand that maybe it was a little aggressive the way they thought you came off. But after watching your interview with Mr. Reviews, I was like, well, you obviously see that he can have a conversation without it going left or right? So I figured after seeing that, more people would want to have a conversation with you. But I don't know, man.
Well, even if it was aggressive, even if I did come to call you a racist, which I'm not, but even if I did, so what? Are you a man or what? This is not how manhood works. Well, I'll only talk to you if you talk. Nadred, you've been talking about me, bro, and I want to talk to you, aggressive or not. This is how this works, my guy. Y'all need to. If you want to talk again, they're the ones that made this about manhood, not me. All right, then be a man about it.
See,
It's simple things, bro.
I seen a few of them. I didn't watch all of them because a lot of those YouTubers, to be honest with you, I personally don't like, right? To be honest with you. Few of them I do, right? I have a relationship with Drunk 3PO. I think Drunk 3PO is a cool guy, right? Racist? Absolutely not. Rest of them, not so much, right? But
they're a little, I said it's like Archie Barker. They jumped on that in the Mr. H review.
So,
but a little, you know what I'm saying? They got they'll every now and then they'll say something that makes you say, bro.
So when you said the Archie Bunker stuff, I was like, I completely understand. I say racist talking points, right? You may not be racist, but the talking points that you're putting out there kind of lead to that direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like Mr. H in one of his things when they're talking about the kids, he's like, oh, you should get a job. Even Chato, so they should get a job. Bro, that's a little, we understand what you might not know what you're saying. We know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm,
you know what I'm saying? We understand these words. And again, they might not think it is a thing, but we understand this language. And for me, I think the larger conversation isn't just about you're dissing my show. It's a young adult, low budget Canadian TV show. You feel me? It's made for kids. Like you're a weed smoker. One day we put a girl smoking a little joint in episode 3. So smoking. The network came through like, yo, take that out.
Okay.
We got some 13-year-old, 14-year-old girls going to be watching this show.
Okay. So that's a question that I had to ask you, though, before you just move on. Like, this was your complete idea of a show, right? Because I don't... So...
From the beginning to the end. Oh, so here's the thing.
Okay.
The idea, I was in London shooting a TV show. I started shooting a music video. And it came to me. What if we did a modern-day Robyn Hood? That feels like a no-brainer, right? And the original idea was, like... men coming home from war, you know what I'm saying? More testosterone, like 24 meets Robyn Hood, 18 meets Robyn Hood.
Gotcha.
And along the process, and I've told this story, but they confused it. This was not the network that suggested this. This was a writer within one of the production said, what if we made it a girl? We spelled it with a Y. We made it a girl, and they're in a band. And I said, oh, I like that. That's like a young, fun show. And it definitely changes with it. But this was not the network changing this. I made the decision to go with this new idea. I did.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I like the young angle of it. That seems like fun because we're making a fun, young show for young adults. You know what I'm saying? These guys, like, if you like The Dark Knight and you like Christopher Nolan Dark Knight and you like The Batman, no, Robyn Hood is not the show for you. And 10 years ago, to be fair to everybody, 10 years ago, no one would have cared. But I feel like now that the culture is being pushed into political correctness, right? Gender swapping, race swapping, da-da-da-da-da. And for whatever reason, they came into the nerd culture like we need help with how we treat women or think of women. And I said this on those, you saw it on the other shows. We made Sarah Connor. Like, it's the nerd culture. Sarah Connor's one of our heroes. Ripley's one of our heroes. Fucking Princess Leia. You know what I'm saying? The Major in Ghost in the Shell. Yeah. Nerd cultures had strong female leads forever, way ahead of normie culture. But then these people from outside the culture come into our shit and start fixing our stuff. And one of the big heartbreaks for me is that now nerd culture is reactive to female leads. Now they have a problem with the female lead. Now they have a problem with the race when we change a race. Nick Fury, they changed Nick Fury to black long before this big push. You know what I'm saying? So we're fine. But now we're reactive. 10 years ago, no one would have given a fuck that we were doing a modern day Robyn Hood with a black girl. So a CW, like a young adult, no one would be, you see it on streaming, you're like, whatever, and keep it moving.
I agree with you 100%, right? Because I know you're 47, I'm 49. So we know what it was like back then, right? But so let me ask you, can you understand where they're coming from to saying, well, they've seen it for years where the race bending and the race swapping is happening and they're a little bit tired of it? Can you understand where they're upset with that?
Completely. I can see that they're triggered by this and reaching out, right? Because, you know, if we had in the script, in the words they say, actual wokeness, then they would have jumped on that. But you see, that's not in the script, right? You notice in none of the criticisms, there's none of that. They're just, they want to hate it. So they're, oh, shaky cam over here and laughing about the condom line. And, oh, well, why are the bad guys a cop? Why is the bad guy a rich white guy? Because it's Robin Hood. The sheriff and the prince are the bad guys in Robin Hood.
I got you. And
that's how this is.
And to me, right, because I heard that comment too as well. And it's like, well, Robin Hood and nerds are good and they're all black in the back. Okay, but technically, Robin, is she really good? Because she's doing little things that are breaking the law, right? Now, her intentions may be good, but you can't sit there and make it seem like she's just morally perfect person. And that's not how the world is, right? So that's why I say I have a little bit pushback on that. Secondly, I grew up in the time where I used to watch movies where there was no people in color in the movie. So I hate to say it, but if they're going to give us a shine like that, I'm going to be excited for it. Like, I don't care about the race bending stuff. I understand a lot of people do. And I actually do wish they would give us original black characters instead of doing the race bending stuff. But the fact that they are, it still gives us a time to shine. Like, we would have never had Kang as Jonathan Majors or Jonathan Majors as Kang if we weren't doing the race bending stuff. And I think he's a great character in that movie, right?
Yeah. So, well, for me now, it is, Robin isn't like the Little Mermaid. Robin isn't like, you know what I'm saying? Robin Hood is a legend. It's 1,000 years old, or around 1,000 years old. No one was complaining when Romeo and Juliet was Puerto Ricans and white people in New York City, gangsters in LA, World War II soldiers, or, you know what I'm saying? The point of Shakespeare is that it's so old that you can now have fun with how you're going to reinterpret it, right? So that's not the thing, but they're reaching. They want to hate it. So, you culturally, and they get to throw our words back at us now, or the words of the, right? Cultural appropriation, racism. This is a racist show because it's white and black people this, and it's cultural appropriation. Bro, again, I don't, in your little echo chamber, that's cute. But when you're talking to people outside, like normal people, no one buys that. No one thinks that. No one thinks that these are the 1-star reviews are a normal review. Bro, this is them reaching, bro. They're out here reaching. You know what I'm saying? And there's all these videos. Some of these guys are doing personal attacks. I'm going on, after I talk to you, I'm going to go talk to Hypnotic, who's actually done personal attacks on me. You know what I'm saying? These guys have all kind of talk to me, but aren't man enough to talk to me in my face. That's it. Enough to talk to me in my face. And there's even this next dude, this black dude. Ooh, what's his name? Like drunk 3PO.
Mark with a C, right?
Mark with a C.
Okay.
I've made 2 videos about me personally, and one of them claiming that it's racist for me not to talk to him. But bro, we're on DM. Just hit me on the DM. No, he makes a video about me. Now go talk to this one. You know what I'm saying? And now he's made another one that I'm hurting black culture by making the show. Bro, talk to me, bro. I'm saying this right now. Talk to me, bro. Like, this is. You want to talk to me? Talk to me, because he definitely does those tweets about beta males and all that kind of shit. Talk to me, bro.
So he'll definitely see this because he's one I have a relationship with too, right? And basically he was telling me that he did reach out to you and then there was nothing else. He said you didn't comment back or anything after that. So that's when I don't know if he sent you a message to talk to me.
No message. No message. He made a YouTube video. Look, bro, everyone here is trying to do their thing. I understand a part of this is people are entertaining and building channels and all that kind of stuff. Because when this started, when I went and looked up the Robin Hood video for when we announced the release date, and there were so many videos, I said, okay, well, I'm just going to talk to the people who I watch, who I know. You know what I'm saying? Because, or else I'll just be randomly, bro, there's a million of them if you search it on YouTube. Let me talk to people I know. And then Drunk 3PO, I had heard of him. I'd never watched his stuff because it just never came in my algorithm. Right. But I'd heard his name. Okay. So when Drunk 3PO got in the mix, I said, all right. And I said, you know what? If Drunk 3PO, I just made a rule. Drunk 3PO says, do it, I'm going to do it. If Drunk 3PO gives this guy the co-sign, I'm going to talk. So he goes talk to the guy. I'm like, cool. Left a comment. Let's do it. Right? And if he's waiting on me to hit him, I'm waiting on him to hit me. Honest misunderstanding. And then he makes his video. And now he makes another video. Bro, if you want to talk to me, talk to me. But I mean, it's all funny stuff for a group of people to be talking about manhood and what it means to be a man and da. And then when a man says, "Yo, what's up? I'll talk to you," then it gets funny. And then there's an importance to this.
Right.
I'm the only one doing it.
And one of the things that were going around that I heard is that you were only calling out white YouTubers. What are your thoughts on that? Because that's what
they're the only ones I know. Okay. Remember, bro, I'm just going off, you know what I'm saying? My YouTube suggests people to me. So who do I know? Okay. I get Critical Drinker because I watch a lot of video essays about filmmaking. I'm very interested to hear what people have to say. So Critical Drinker's on my timeline. Despero comes on my timeline. Nerdrotic comes on my timeline. Heels versus Babyface comes on my timeline. Geeks and Gamers comes on my timeline. Ryan comes on my timeline. Robot Head. Doomcock. This is what comes into my algorithm.
Okay, I got a question though. You've watched these guys before, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't know that they would come at you like this for the show?
No, I knew they were going to comment. You're like, oh, they'll comment, whatever. But when the show got review bombed, and I cannot deny the whole reason anyone was paying attention to this show. Remember, a low budget Canadian TV show. You know, because you're
yeah, I know.
Some little show.
Yeah, I know.
That no one would have cared about 10 years ago. The guys are all piling in, and it's because it's a woman. She's black. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This is what it is. This is what they're there for. Okay, cool. And then there's some racist shit involved. I got racist comments. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to just disregard that. Y'all are mad that this is a black woman being Robyn Hood, and then you got racist shit. No, I don't think everyone's full-on KKK racist, but there's some shit. There's levels of this shit happening, right? And for my thing for the community is I can't even get a that's not cool. The only one person is Jeremy, and that's another one I'd watch over at the Quartering. Mm-hmm. Only one person says that's not cool. Can we get a that's not cool?
I seen the one you posted with the people looting, and then they said Robyn Hood. Yeah, that's not cool, man. Right?
That's not cool.
What other kind of racist stuff has you got, right? Because, and this is the problem that I have too, is especially with these channels, they kind of like brush it off like, oh, don't worry, because I've had things said about me, right? But we have to understand that these things, people get these racist comments. Moses Ingram, who played the black chick in Star Wars, like she posted a lot of the racist stuff that she got, and people were just like, "Oh, it ain't nothing." You know what I mean? So, what did you get? Yeah,
no, same shit. You know, top fried chicken and loot, all kinds of shit. I posted it. I have a link where I put up 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? Along with the bit, like, bro? It ain't hard to say that's not cool because the shame of this all is that all right, you guys are all here in your echo chamber talking shit, trying to tear things down. But could you channel this to saving something? Could they have saved the creator? Could they make a hit? If the kid, it don't take much to just say, bro, calm down, bro. That's not cool. You're a big man now. So you're outside of some event, and so some kids acting like idiots. So you might have to be like, yo, chill out, y'all. You're gonna fuck this whole thing up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need to regulate a little bit when you're a fucking big man. You go, chill out, bro. You're gonna fuck up the whole thing out here, bro. And they're, oh, okay. Yeah. Someone needs to regulate these kids. Yo, chill out. You want to do that shit in private. But when you're doing this on Twitter and on YouTube, and when you're harassing these people, you're in their comments, from the amount of people that are in my comments and the amount of shit talking, because I'm like you. I've seen them say, oh, no one was harassing the Asian girl from Star Wars. They're making that up. No one was harassing the black girl from Obi-Wan Kenobi. They're lying. They're saying that there was no racism, and the people that say there are lying. No, they're not. From what I've seen, these motherfuckers are harassing the shit out of those girls. And not everyone has the same kind of skin as I have. You know what I'm saying? Because you see what these boys are. You're like, bro, if you're coming to my Instagram to make to talk shit, bro, I know what that is. And so do normal people. They know what the fuck that is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they're harassing these girls. Can someone say only Jeremy, only one channel, only one man is man enough to say to his audience, don't do that. That's not cool. I'm not fucking with it. One of them. Because Mr. H said, oh, it goes without saying. No, it doesn't. And if they would do just that little bit, maybe we can begin to open some doors where creators can come on their channels, talk about their movie, reach the audience, because this is the streets of this nerd shit. These guys have the reach, right? Absolutely. But it's not perceived toxic behavior. They act fucking toxic. Maybe not the YouTubers themselves, but bro, my comments, every time when a guy puts up a video, my comments blow up with another person coming in there to talk shit. You feel me? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then what happens is, look, I said, I'm outside. I ain't scared. There's realer shit going on in the world than nerds comment. So whatever, it's cute. But soccer mom that goes to has a cubicle, goes to work, does the cubicle work, does a little stuff to promote the little TV show, checks YouTube, sees racism. She's not digging in. She's not thinking deeper. She's not seeing which YouTuber is toxic and which one's not. She just says, they're all toxic. We can't go near them. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You feel me?
Yeah, 100%. And see, here's the thing. And I can honestly say, like, I have YouTuber friends who are into drama, right? But whenever they have a drama with someone, they'll tell their people, like, listen, don't go into these chats and harass them. Don't do that, right? We'll do on it. We'll have the conversation here, but don't go over to that channel, harass them, making threats and stuff. And I do agree with you that they do need to handle that a little bit more, but also we can't, as a YouTuber, I can't police everybody that follows me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So even if I say that, I'm still going to have people sitting there saying, well, you know what I mean, doing what they want to do. Right. Definitely.
But at least let's get a narrative out there. Like, chill out. You're fucking up the game. You're fucking up the game, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We go out into the nightclub district, and a couple guys want to get into a fight in the club. Well, it's a hip hop night. So guess what now? No more hip hop nights. Mm-hmm. Oh, something happened outside. Well, now we can't. You know what I'm saying? There's, you know what I mean? And it's the same shit. You're going to go into the comments and start, all right, well, but you're fucking up. Know that you're fucking up the culture. Know that you're fucking up the game. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to reach an audience right now. And that beyond all this, I believe a big part of the reaction to Robyn Hood is a backlash to woke culture, woke push. You know what I'm saying? So it's bigger than my little fucking Canadian show, right? Mm-hmm. So you have all that mixed into it. But when you start mixing in, again, from the people that are in the corporate positions, it's just like, all right, well, I just won't. What? They did what? All right, cool. Done.
So how do you feel about race bending? You don't have an issue? Obviously, you did the show, but like, let's say not Robyn Hood, but what Hollywood has been doing race bending characters. Do you have an issue with that?
I mean, like, I wouldn't have done The Little Mermaid. I wouldn't have race swapped Little Mermaid.
Okay.
I think people want to see when we think Little Mermaid, we have an idea in our head of what that is. Mm-hmm. I understand wanting to share the ball. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And if you're going to do Little Mermaid like that, you got to know that you got to know what it's going to come with it. Robyn Hood is different to me. It's not an established character. When you think of Iron Man, you think of, I mean, look, I had a problem when they made James Bond blonde. Mm-hmm. You feel me? I'm like, blonde? Blonde James Bond? What the fuck? Yeah. Bro, dye this man's hair. James Bond ain't blonde, bro.
Right.
If you want to know how I feel about this shit. But when you go take a character like Robyn Hood, come on, ain't no one had a problem. It was a fox. A cartoon fox.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So when these are more established characters that people know, I would stick with me personally. I would stick with what the audience knows. I think of James Bond, black hair, British. You know what I'm saying? Think a Little Mermaid, redhead, little white girl. You know what I'm saying? If we want to introduce more diverse casts, I think it's not quite as simple, right? Like you said, when we grew up, it was Star Wars ain't got nothing but white people in it. White people and aliens. That's what's in Star Wars, right? Yeah. I was just at the art gallery. And they had a picture of John F. Kennedy in the Rose Garden and his staff. Mm-hmm. All white men. This is just the reality of what the world was for a very long time. Mm-hmm. I do think part of this backlash is that people feel it's happening too fast, too quickly. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, just ease your way into everything. You know what I'm saying?
I think one of the biggest problems too is that it's not enough balance, right? If it was balanced out there enough to where it was, you could satisfy the people who don't like the race swapping and the stuff, and you could still do something different where there's a balance, I think that's a lot better. What I would find is that it's just race swapping, waist stopping, and then white people are all bad, and they do that in a lot of these movies, and I think that's what the biggest issue is. I think if they had more of a balance, people wouldn't complain as much. You would still get the ones that complain, but I don't think it would be as loud if there was more of a balance.
I think we need a balance, and then sometimes, this is what I'm saying. When you don't have nerds in the conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can get people watching The Witcher and saying, "What?" or watching Lord of the Rings, like, "Wait, why? Where's these multicultural societies coming from?"
Mm-hmm.
Right? And at the same time, I understand people saying, "Well, how come we can't be included?" But it needs to make sense. You know what I mean? I think the first Game of Thrones really made sense of it, where, when they crossed the sea and they went over, and now they started running into people of color because they're in a part of the world where people of color are, right?
Right.
And then, so you have that kind of thing going on, right? So I think we need more nerds in these conversations to make these things make sense. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a big part of what's happened with a lot of this stuff. They're not nerds, but they see nerd shit making money, so they come over like, "Well, I'm gonna fix it," and they want to make Oscar award-winning drama. Now they're over here. Forgive me, ladies, but essentially, it's the entire nerd culture has become "Let Your Sister Play." And now Optimus Prime wants to have tea. You know what I mean? Like it's like they're not from this. They don't love it. They don't get the way we make logic work. You know what I'm saying? Even within the stuff that doesn't seem to have a logic, there's a logic. Like, people are legitimately annoyed with how many times we have characters full on getting stabbed with lightsabers and surviving them.
Oh yeah, I know. Let's not talk about that because I can't stand that. I can't stand that.
Bro,
right? I get it. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Cut off an arm, cut off a hand. We're well established. Cut off a body part. You know what I'm saying? We'll put it back. You know what I'm saying? But full in the chest lightsaber.
I agree, 100%, brother. I agree with you 100%. You surviving that next day, everything is good. Like, no.
I think we need more nerds in it. I think we need a balance. I think if you're going to say, all right, we're going to bring in these black characters to this old, established, folklore, Lord of the Rings IP, well, you need to figure out why, how, where are they from? You know what I mean? In Lord of the Rings, I think there's just some shit you just leave it alone, right? Like, I don't want to see there's just random multicultural people in my kung fu movie. If it's ancient China, I want ancient China. If it's old samurai, everyone's grown up. We understand that the long time ago, there was not a lot of other races running around the situation. Like, we can handle that. I mean, it's odd. And then when they try and make, remember the whole last, it's a great example. Ghost in the Shell, the movie.
Yeah.
What's always been the case with when they try and adapt nerd shit is they're afraid of the big leap. Right? They can't handle the crazy shit that we're doing in these movies. So they start watering down the big ideas.
Right.
Okay? And then they go, all right, well, Scarlett Johansson is going to be the lead because she's a star, and I get it. But now the whole movie is actually trying to explain why she's not.
They're trying to explain
why she's not Japanese. Like, what is going on? I would have rather they said it's New York. You know what I'm saying? Or some shit like that. And just say, all right, it's just we're doing it in New York City instead of Tokyo. That's why she's not, or something. Or just don't. But even the big ideas weren't done. So it's what we owe. So
you agree then that there is this agenda, right? For whatever reason, they want inclusion or whatever they want to say. I don't like to use the word woke because to me, woke meant something else when I was growing up, right? Now I think they're using it for another word. But you do agree that there is this agenda going on right now, right?
Not so much. I don't think it's like the powers that be came down and said, "Now you must." But after George Floyd, right?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll get to that after.
Right. After George Floyd, I did a lot of calls, Zooms with like advertising agencies, and they're like, "Yo," basically they said, "Are we the asshole?" Right? Because especially in Canada, some of the whitest rooms I've ever been in are advertising and television. White, very white. And these are our allies. But you would still have these weird moments where, again, I'm not outwardly racist. They would never say, "I don't want my daughter hanging out with a black guy." They would never in a million years think that way. But you see subtle kind of things in the back of their head, right? That would come through. So after George Floyd, the industry really says, you know what, they recognize we haven't hired enough people. These places are not diverse enough. Let's strive to open the doors to new people that haven't always had it, which is completely fair. And then you have, but everyone's doing it. So now there's a lot of shifting and moving around to the point like white directors really felt it, like, goddamn, right? Because we get a call. Before my company here, I'm in my office. We've always signed. We never looked at your color. We never said, "We're signing you because you're black. We're signing you because you're a woman." We looked at your work, and then we said, "You're good." We signed. And I think that's, I mean, I don't know if you agree, but I think that's what all creatives are looking for. Is my work good enough for you to get the job? You know what I'm saying? I don't want an extra, you know what I'm saying? For a very, it's real. But for a very long time, we weren't even considered. Not out of blatant racism, just their head goes, he's not right for this, right? Because even when we said one of these advertising guys who we know or have a great relationship with, go, "But you never sent us boards. The boards is like a script." You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. Here's the boards for the commercial. Here's an idea. Go, "You've never sent us boards." He goes, "Well, we never had any black work." But why are the black directors only eligible for black work? Right. Go, how about we open this up to we're all just working. We're all looking at the creative, and that's ultimately, I think, where everyone wants to be. So in some of this shifting around, of course, the pendulum swings, and it gets a little too far, and then we have to find a balance between all these things, where ultimately, what I'm hoping to see is that we just open the door and say, we're shooting a Visa commercial, general audience. We need this type of director. And the race doesn't matter. You're just looking at the work. Or we're doing this type of story. You know what I'm saying? It's ultimately where I'd like things to be. Because it's not like a white director. I mean, The Color Purple, the original Color Purple, is an amazing film. Yeah. Steven Spielberg did. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. But you see, that's the thing now, because in the past couple of years, it got to the point where they were saying you couldn't have white actors do voice acting for black characters, right? So I think in certain ways it gets like, who cares if a white actor does a voice actor for a black character? Like, well, do you remember how much the show don't even know who the character is? You know what I mean? So sometimes white folks will put up a fight that we are and battle something we have no problem with. You remember there's this commercial. It might have been a Volkswagen commercial, but the idea is this white guy just came home from Jamaica, and he's like, "Yeah, man." He starts talking, "Yeah, man," and then white people are like, "How dare you?" And black people are like, "No, we love that." Yeah, absolutely. What are you talking about? That's great. You know what I'm saying? But that's what diversifying these workplaces. Because I tell these advertisers, especially in Canada, I tell these television people, which is most part considered kind of a stale, especially advertising out here. It's considered kind of stale. No one looks at the Canadian creative industries. It's like, the Canadians are really doing amazing things. But the places where people are looking at Canadians and saying they're doing amazing things is music. And why? Because it's diverse. There are no gatekeepers. When you get around Drake and you get around The Weeknd, their crews are completely some Lebanese guy and a Filipino guy, and there's an East African, a West African, and an Italian, and it truly looks like what in the streets of Toronto we are together. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure Montreal is probably the same kind of thing.
Absolutely.
You walk into a restaurant, it's a table, there's a black guy and a white girl and Chinese, and they're all friends. They're actually friends. And you might be at a fucking West Indian restaurant, and then they all know each other's culture, and there's a great. But in that mixing of people comes this great creativity. But the advertising agencies and the television, all the places with the gatekeepers, for some reason, there's no one in there. Yeah, you got a little Indian, you got a little Asian, one black. Mm-hmm. And had they opened the door, truly opened the door to the people in the community in the way that it is when you go outside, because the boardroom doesn't look like the street when you come to Canadian cities. They would have been winning those awards. They would have got all that influx of great creativity. Because those same kids that are all around Drake and all around the weekend and all making music and doing creative stuff could have been in your agency, could have been winning awards, could have been winning accounts, could have been that energy was right there for you, and they missed that train. You know? So that's really the big thing here. We all want to find a good balance. I think everyone should be able to play, share the ball. I think what's happened now is you got a backlash. I think there's a whole segment of people who feel that they've been pushed out, right? Not only have they told you have to share the ball, they've also been told, go sit down, you can't play anymore.
Right.
Okay? Whether that's true or not, that's how they feel, right? So part of leadership is inspiring everybody, not, you know what I'm saying? So how do we lead this into a proper...
Do you think the industry is trying to fix that, or do you think they're just stuck in their ways to where, no, this is the way it is?
No. They're finding the balance. Again, because of the bad behavior in this community, we have to call it what it is. They get disregarded. They get, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They just get the poo-poo and not engage. Look, my management told me not engage with y'all.
Yeah.
The network, please. Please. Mm-hmm. Bro, there was a time I was trying to get advanced screeners for everybody. Like, yo, I'll show you the show ahead of time. Let's have a conversation. Let me come on the show. They wouldn't give me screeners. Yeah, but they guys have an audience. Yeah, but it's not Canadian and they're not press. They got thousands of followers. Yeah, no. And that's not even getting into the bad behavior part. They just already disregard it because they disregard the media.
Right.
So there's one part of this where they're just like, what, YouTube? Whatever. And then this shit happens. How do you think, like, again, middle-aged white lady from the suburbs who has to pick up her kid from dance class. She's not digging into this shit. She just sees this shit. What? I'm out.
Yeah. I agree. Let me get to these super chats real quick. Mark with a C said, peace on. So Hollywood seems to have weaponized Black victimhood, which is not good for our children's self-esteem. It's a huge part of the issue. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'd like to know some examples of that, or what he feels. I know that's the narrative people are trying to put on this show.
Mm-hmm. So here's one that I've been hearing, right? And again, this has to do part of your interview where you said Robyn's father.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is my boy. Don't worry. But
wait, you're protecting the lightsaber to the chest, bro?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, we've argued with that many times.
I'm not cool, bro. A lightsaber is molten lava in your chest. It is not the same as a gunshot wound, bro. I'm not co-signing. My man got the bow tie and everything. Yo, also brothers.
Not Muslim, but he's found himself. He gave himself to God, so his channel's called Road to Wisdom. But I agree with you 100%. No, I tell him we had that argument many times about, you know what? Before we get into the next thing, I gotta ask you because I heard you say something about Force Awakens. Which side were you on with Force Awakens? Were you on the side that you liked it, or were you on the side that? Oh, thank you.
I knew we had problems.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
My biggest issue with The Force Awakens was in the third act. Them going. Imagine this: you're watching a movie. It's a pirate movie. and we're looking for the treasure map. Out there is a treasure map. So, first half of the movie, looking for the map, and then we find the map. We have the treasure map. Now we're going to go to the we're going to go burn a castle down. What have I been doing for half? What the fuck have we been doing for 2/3 of the movie?
Mm-hmm.
You found the treasure map. You go to the treasure.
Facts.
So it wasn't even like just out of nowhere they go and destroy the Death Star. I'm like, guys, come on, man. That doesn't make sense. And for the fact that Han, Luke, and Leia never got together.
Facts.
Unforgivable. And there was no coming back. I personally think there is no coming back for the DCU. I think it was over the moment Superman snapped that man's neck.
Ooh, okay, let's get into that. So you don't think James Gunn is going to be able to bring it back?
It's too convoluted. That you should listen, man. You should listen to the fans. Look what happened to Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Absolutely.
The fans saw that weird, lanky, strange Sonic. They're like, that's not Sonic. And the studio did the right thing. They said, all right, go change it.
Yep.
Hit movie.
Yep.
Right? If the fans love Henry Cavill, then motherfucker, give me a Henry Cavill motherfucking Superman movie.
Absolutely. Here's a question, $2. He said, Julian, who was your original target audience for the show?
It's a young adult audience. They're aiming at, like I told you, when we had Much in episode 3, we have one shot where she smokes the joint for a moment. We just couldn't cut around it. But for the rest of the scene, she never smokes. Mm-hmm. And that was the studio's like, take that out. I don't want some 13-year-old girl watching this thing.
Right.
This is Robyn Hood is made for people to go, I'm Team Little John, I'm Team Marion. It's a young adult TV show, which in that world, again, we're all super overreactive. There's a show called Lost Girl. I don't know if you remember Lost Girl, but lead character is bisexual. Orphan Black, I believe that lead character was bisexual. So like a bisexual lead in a show like this is not unusual. But this is by no means like we weren't making this for the person who's watching the dark. Like people pointed out, they got LED masks on while they rock. It's Hood Power Rangers. Because
right.
Nobody needs Black Robyn Hood for real. I'm not making that show.
Fictional. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
I'll do cartoony. It's like a little live action cartoon. Yeah, and I've heard, they're criminals. Bro, stop. They got drones and they're wearing ponchos that disrupt the camera. Stop, bro. This ain't real crime. You know what I'm saying? That's not the show I was gonna make, and that's not the show anyone wants to see, and no one was asking for that. You know what I'm saying? Top Boy Robyn Hood is a whole other fucking conversation. You know what I mean? And I'm not doing that.
Absolutely. So here's the thing, Robyn, because like I said, I watched the other stream, and they talked about Robyn's father being a Rolling Stone. Why did you go that route with the father? Because I think, to me, that's one of the issues where I'm like, why couldn't the father be in the household? You know what I mean? Like, have a strong family. That's what I think is missing in Hollywood, is that they're not showing us in that strong family light. So I wanted to ask you, what was your thoughts on that?
Well, we got twists and turns in mind for Robyn's father.
Okay.
So there's that part of it. It's just kind of how that developed, and I had a room full of our writers, majority Black. It just never really came up. That, hey, maybe this is maybe that, and like I said, we had things in mind. And is that where we're at now? That because this is a realistic, very real that people have these types of families.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. But it's very real that they have household families too. You know what I mean?
Of course. But but where are we at now? So we're still in that place where if we're doing a Black show, it has to be idealized Black. You know what I'm saying? Like, the most wonderful man in the world is her dad, and the most wonderful woman. You know what I'm saying? It just gets. It's just a little different, and like I said, we have twists and turns in mind for Robyn's father, right? So there's stories to tell there, but that's just how that developed, and it's an interesting conversation, but it's not one that came up. you know. And as well, let's be clear here. There's some nitpicking going on, and the people saying this are not people super concerned with the portrayal of black people on television. These are people that are looking. These are people that are looking for excuses to criticize the show. And again, bro, yeah. But you don't fucking care, and you know you don't fucking care. And here's the thing: bro. I'm really outside. I'm not gonna just pretend like because you said some shit. I'm gonna pretend like you're saying something out of good faith or you really fucking mean it. You know you're fucking. They don't fucking care. They're looking for reasons. Well, how about that? Well, how about that? Fuck off, bro. You're not here to. You're here to hate this show. You're here to tear this motherfucker apart. You know what I'm saying? The same people that are trying to say that 3,900 1 stars is an honest fucking review. Stop. Save that shit for someone else, dog. Save that shit for someone else. You know what I'm saying? Save that shit for someone else.
So here's the thing. I agree with you that certain ones that are saying it don't give a shit about how we're portrayed on TV. But there's ones like me and even Mark with a C, we do, right? And I think the problem is that we've seen so many negative portrayals that we want to see something positive. Like, for example, I like Bel-Air. I love the retelling of Bel-Air. I think it's done really good. And I also think that you get that strong black family in there, right? You know, Phil, he's a lawyer. He's in the streets, but he's not doing any crimes. He's not doing anything bad. You know what I mean? His wife isn't cheating on him or anything like that. And I think that's the reason why I think like there are more portrayals like that. Again, there should be a balance. I agree. If you're going to have your shows like that, you have the ones like that. I always go with balance, right? Because it's being creative when you think about it in the long run, right? Everything is fantasy. This is not the real world. So I completely understand that. But I just think the problem is that there's not enough balance of the good and they show way too much of the bad.
And that's it. That's a legitimate conversation to have. Yeah. It's just not something that came up within our rooms when we were doing this. This is what we were doing, right? Again, because we have an eye to what Robyn. We have a story. We have storylines that we have in mind for Robyn and about her dad.
Right.
So yeah, it's a conversation to have, but I'm not gonna. These motherfuckers don't give a fuck.
I know. So the ratings bombing now. Have you read some of the comments that were in the 1 stars? Like, did they seem like they were legit to you, or just people just regurgitating what they've heard?
Earlier, but it's all not the majority. It's just regurgitation, and then people trying to. Oh well, I did look at it, and what I don't like, bro. You're here to give it 1 star, and now you've heard my commentary, so now you're trying to make it look like you're really being honest, bro. That's not how ratings work. I did Superfly. Superfly is like 50-50 between people who like it and people who don't. And you read the reviews, and some don't. You know what an honest rating is. It would have been some 5s and 4s. They're all 1s. Again, bro, I don't know where the fuck these guys grew up. They're trying to tell me that's an honest thing. But you obviously ain't been outside. And you obviously ain't been around no real shit. Stop this. Stop this. That's clear what that is. Any normal person knows what that is. You tell, well, no, it's not. And fuck off, bro. I'm not here to play pretend with you guys. I'm not here to do that, and I'm not doing that. It's clear what that is, and that's what the fuck it is. No, some of them gave a really real review, and you look, some of them are giving, and look at these black movies that had normal reviews. If we were racist, we would hate all black things. Yeah, pull up the ones with black fantasy. Don't pull up Atlanta. Pull up some shit where there's black people in a fantasy role. Is it still so even? Oh, now it's a new conversation, isn't it? Because you know how y'all act the moment black people start entering into the fantasy spaces, right? And into these nerd spaces, right? Oh, the creator has a black star. No, bro, you know what this is. Once we start getting into, and again, part of this is a reaction, not to just the show, it's a reaction to the whole fucking thing. The wokeness and the, you know what I'm saying? So I don't take all of this as a personal assault on the show. Right? Again, it's a fucking low-budget young adult show. It's for fucking my 13-year-old son. This is who I want to watch. You know what I'm saying? That's who they're thinking about watching this show. So, all right, I get it. But so, and that's how I can step back and be like, okay, let me see what's happening here. You know what I'm saying? And this is where we're at. We're at this reaction to this, where people feel we're forcing something on them. Because when I made this show, we don't talk about race. We don't talk about gender. We don't talk about any of that stuff. We deal in rich and poor. You know what I mean? And Even down to the one thing everyone's like, oh, she threw the cop at the beginning. That's a judo. That's a movement. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
See this part of your body? See this? This connects to this. This connects to that. If I grab you here and pull you, I'm a move. Doesn't matter your size. You know what I'm saying? So if someone's running at me and I dodge them, I can throw them.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've done that in my life.
Yeah.
You can
use the momentum against them. That's what you do, right?
Grab someone. If you take with a hand, if I grab under here in your wrist, I can toss you, bro. I can use your momentum. So even that now, when I was doing things with that in mind, because I watch all this stuff and all these commentaries, Robyn isn't some super perfect girl. She's a fuck up. But then I watch a review and now they're angry that she's a fuck up. Well, which one is it? Are we angry when every female character is fucking a perfect genius and great at everything? Or are we now mad because she's a girl that's kind of just got an okay job and wants to be a rapper? Either one? Oh, because you don't like the show. No matter what I do, you're going to be angry. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to like the show. No matter what happens, you're going to have a criticism for it. You feel what I'm saying? She takes the guy, throws the guy. That's learn some martial arts. I know, but maybe y'all have never done shit or seen shit, or I don't know what the fuck. But that's a girl can do that, especially a 5'8" girl.
Oh yeah. There's some girls out there that can kick niggas' asses. You know what I'm saying? But so I understand what you're saying about that part, and I completely lost my train of thought. What I was gonna say, but at the end of the day, okay, I understand that people don't like the race bending stuff, and they kind of had a perception of the show before they even seen it, right? Because when the trailer came out, and even when it was announced that they were doing this Robyn Hood, I see there was backlash coming out, and I feel like maybe some of them already had that going into watching the show. I think there's a lot of people that didn't watch the show, right? Right, that didn't watch the show. But we also do understand that there are people that it's not for, and they're just not going to like it regardless, right?
Bro, like I said, 10 years ago, this community would not have cared. Get in your mental time machine. A black Robyn Hood, a CW, because it is very CW. We knew that we're making a CW type show, right? CW made a race swap Robyn Hood. It's like a girl, and she's black, and they're okay. I'm not gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch this new Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what it is. It's a young adult show. I'm Team Little John. I'm Team Marion. That's what this was made for. Or else, look, dog. I've seen people point out like, why are there lights on with the? Why are they breaking into this place with the LEDs on? Well, that's when I had to say, you know what, the audience I'm dealing with ain't gonna, because in the beginning they clearly turned them off.
Right.
The opening scene when they come to, because we know, you know what I'm saying, they turn off. But now when they're in full superhero mode, they got the color poncho and they got the color, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to make a choice about this mask. I said, fuck it, I'm going Power Rangers.
I got you.
I'm going Hood Power Rangers. I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? But doing that, you've made a decision. It's not. I'm really my like nerd self that says, yo, why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? All right, well, that because if I want to dig in, if I want to go super nerd, how the fuck they get it?
Right. You gotta.
They took the bus.
Yeah.
They drove a car.
Yeah,
There's no street signs. On top of that, today, I don't know how the fuck you commit a crime today. With facial recognition, AI, there's a bro.
Drones, everything.
Yeah. So at some point, we just got to say, all right, it's New Nottingham. It's a kind of a little city in the shadow of the big city, so they don't have the same kind of budget. So maybe they don't have all the extra tech. You know what I'm saying? Like even the mafia now. Back in the day, if you broke a rule, they'd kill you, right?
Right.
Well, now it's hard to kill somebody. And on top of that, if you and I go do a hit together, well, now we both got information on each other. And if I get in trouble, I can just say, Bigger.
He did.
I was with Bigger.
100%.
I was with X. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and the way this world is today, they do that shit. You know what I mean?
Because that's how this works. So what I've heard, I don't know this firsthand, but what I've heard now in the mafia, they'll they'll just kind of excommunicate you. So you're not made no more. Which I think is probably, I think that is probably a worse punishment. Imagine you're a made man running around Montreal. You're a made man. Everyone knows that guy's a monk. Then one day you're not.
Yeah. No one wants to mess with you anymore. Like nobody, right?
No, you lost all your power. You know what I'm saying? That to say, I'm drifting. But that to say, you know, how do you tell a realistic Robin Hood? How do you you know what I'm saying? Like they're wearing animal masks and they're color, like just none of it makes any sense. And so then you go, all right. Luckily, the show I'm making is for this type of audience that it doesn't have to be so real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know Batman wears a cape because it helps him glide.
Yeah, no,
I tell you what.
Last person there.
You know what?
$5. Let me just get to this. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, look, if you're telling me that this is the standard we're moving at, well, then I'm going to watch it at that standard. I put Robin Hood. It's cartoon. Okay? But I have trouble actually one night when I was watching The Dark Knight. Remember when the Joker throws the girl off the penthouse?
Yeah.
Batman jumps and he catches her. It's a penthouse, and then he lands on the roof of a car. And they're like, "Oh, okay, sure, it's fine." I'm like, "Bro,
yeah."
That's not a bunch. You know what I'm saying? Like you be dead." And in the Batman movie, remember he's on the train and he hits something and he gets limps away, bro. You'd be dead. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. I don't care how body armored up your fucking Batman suit is. You're not gonna hit something on a fucking subway train and walk away. So all these movies, all these things, and we forgive these things because we're here. You're either with it or you're not. But if you're watching it to hate it, then you have no forgiveness. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what we have a bunch of people here watching it to hate it. But why do they want to hate it? Because this woke shit has pushed people into a reactive corner. You know what I'm saying? And the larger message in the larger story is you keep pushing people, man, they're gonna snap. And I'd rather it be a fight over fucking my little kid Robin Hood show or my teenage Robin Hood show than over some real shit. But people are some real, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. He said to all those haters, create your own characters, create your own fantasy world. Great scream, Nzo. Thank you very much. And I agree with you 100% what you're saying, because at the end of the day, this is not like it's a show, right? It's not meant for us, right? And I think with all the stuff that's going on, it's like are you really need to hate on something that's not for you at this point, right? Just don't watch it. Turn it off. Like there's a lot of YouTubers I don't like. I don't go out and I have to trash them. I say, no, turn it off. I'm good. I'll pass.
I get it. I would say this. That's fine. People, look, this is how people are. You go to the fucking game and you yell at the team you don't like. This is part of the fun of the fucking thing. I personally am not going to anyone's channel to go fucking talk shit in their comments, but fine, do your thing.
Right.
I would tell the community, check your racist shit, bro. You want to go make those jokes in private. One, I don't know how safe it is for anybody to be making racist shit in the internet. I mean, the world is getting a little crazy with the way they clamp down on people. So, on the strength of the culture, have your fun, but realize, man, people are seeing this and it has an effect. You know what I mean? And the larger one, I really want to see this community get the bullshit under control and save something. Make a movie big. I should when you do press for a TV show, they have to go and talk to traditional media, they talk to a couple blogs, and you talk to safe YouTube channels. And no disrespect to anyone I've spoken to, but I love everybody.
Right.
But the reality is, I'm trying to reach an audience. You have like 1,000. Some got not you, but you know some YouTube channel that has just a few thousand. You know what I'm saying? Videos that only have a couple hundred views. What am I doing here?
Right.
Why am I traditional press? What am I doing here? Meanwhile, the channels that have 200, 300,000, 20, that have channels and have views, I can't go there because they're associated with toxic behavior. Because they can't even say, man, I told these racist guys to shut up. They can't even point to, you know what I'm saying? Could we? This is the ground to save the culture, to make when the stuff that's good, like the creator looks amazing. I tell people about them. People don't even know that it even exists.
Yeah.
I still haven't done it. I still haven't seen it. It was out. I'm like, what? It's out? Yeah. And I'm sure the studio is like, oh, we put the trailer on YouTube, and look, we did a viral campaign at a football game. Yeah, motherfucker, but you should have been on Mr. H. Oh, you should have been on Nerdrotic. But they can't go near those guys. When Zack Snyder went on Nerdrotic, they treated him like he just met with Hitler.
You see, and I get it, right? And I understand too. Like, again, I always say that we can't really control the audience, but you can at least try and calm them down, right? And I think more people would be like you and other directors would be, because YouTube is where it's at right now, right? You look at all these YouTubers, they have 100K subscribers, they're reaching a big audience, people are watching their stuff. So that's where a lot of people are getting their information. And I just think some of them don't really care for that, right? Because it doesn't coincide with their brand. You know what I mean?
It doesn't coincide with the brand, but do we not want great products to have, you know what I'm saying? Like, absolutely. The creator could have been a big movie had they reached the people. The people didn't know exists. There's like, I saw Mr. H just talking about some new Godzilla movie out of Japan, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we need, what I would love to see happen is to see this community begin to make hits, to find its power. But part of that is going to be people coming there and realize what you're doing, bro. Yeah, it might feel good to put in some shit about fried chicken into my comments. But now, when I go tell my people, like, look what these motherfuckers are saying about this. Oh, okay.
No, I agree with you, because I seen the fried chicken one and I seen the people running that. Like I said, those things ain't cool, right? Because you're not just going at you, you're going at all of us as a people when you do something like that. You know what I mean? So I agree with you 100%. And I honestly agree that if you see that stuff and you're not a racist, then yes, say something. You know what I mean? Like, I've had panels where I've had to check my chat, be like, yo, don't call him a racist, man. It's his views. You know what I mean? You may not agree with it, but we're not doing that here, right? And I think we do need to do more of that. Like, a lot of
ain't got to be a lot. Just say, yo, calm down. Look, the other day, you know, I got a place downtown, so I'm outside a lot. You know what I mean? And I'm on this side of the city. Gets a little out here. And you know, I'm walking. It's right after school, and there's some white lady, and she's just getting into a kind of Karen-y. She's not quite right, with some young black kids coming out of school, and they're going back and forth with her. And I see that, I go, yo, leave her alone. I don't know these kids from Adam. But I'm a big man. Yo, bro, leave her alone. You're not gonna. There's nothing gonna come out of this that's gonna be useful to you. Leave her alone, man. Let her be. You know what I'm saying? And they go, okay. They walk off. It's just, I'm not asking them to be an ally, but just say, yo, bro, not cool, bro. Chill out. Whatever it is, you big man this thing and tell these motherfuckers to chill the fuck out because you're not helping them. You know what I'm saying?
Said, don't get me started on the fried chicken thing. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like, okay. I understand if you got to criticize, because I don't like everything, right? Like, nobody likes everything. And you can have positive criticism without being racist. Now, when you throw it in fried chicken, you know what that means. You know what I mean? When you throw in people rioting and say that's the show, like, that's disrespectful. And those are the type of comments that I can understand that irk you. You know what I mean?
I showed when I was on the plane going somewhere, and I showed there's these two black girls. They're sitting beside me. We're talking. I tell them what's going on with the show, and I showed them that video that Nerdrotic made. And to watch their spirit just slump. I don't think these guys fully understand how hurtful some of this shit can be, especially just the right.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
So why it just crushed them down. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%.
Again, like, the show's a cartoonish show. Like, the last episode, they broke into a pharmaceutical company and stole medicine for the whole neighborhood, right? It's an analogy for what's going on. Because yes, of course, the one building doesn't have all the medicine for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But they're not doing home invasions. Even when they broke into the man's house, they got a drone, and again, they're wearing animal masks that light up. Stop, bro. You feel me? Like we're not. You see what we're doing, right? And they're trying to align that with this. You don't. Oh, you're promoting crime. Fuck off. You know that's not. This is cartoonish shit. This ain't me promoting crime, and you don't care anyways. You're not concerned about the black community and how we're portrayed. You're looking for little things that you can use like on a win on you, right? And you're not talking. I don't know who y'all think you're fucking talking to. They ain't fucking fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I do want to do this because I need to jump off in about 15.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about reaching this community and the positive things we can do. I did it with Mr. H. Spoke about the documentary I produced. Right. Quiet Minds, Silent Streets. It's on Documentary Plus, www.docplus.com, DOCPLUS, right? Docplus.com/Quiet Minds. So, Toronto, we've had a real gun violence problem over the past few years. And there's a community out here called Moulton, part of the Greater Toronto area.
Right.
They had a shooting out there, 140 plus rounds fired off. And this young man, 17 years old, got hit and he didn't survive. He was just a kid waiting to get picked up. He was uninvolved. Whatever set off that shooting, he had nothing to do with it.
Right.
And it really rocked the community, right? And the community's dealt with a lot, like every week, a different murder, every week, you know what I'm saying? And one of the teachers in their class, these kids, she says, let's try meditating. She showed them, I did a TED talk called Message to the Man Who Shot Me. I got shot out here as well, in my back. Right? Bullet went to 2 people and hit me. So I do this TED talk about how meditation could reduce violence, help people that suffer being around violence, trauma of violence. And so the documentary is about those kids. Once they start meditating, the change that it does for them. 17 minutes. There's teachers, easy to show a class, talk about it. This is something, if you're any job that is highly stressful, if you live in a place where stress is getting at you, if you're a cop, paramedic, fireman, social worker, teacher, or stressful positions, that changes the brain. Stress shrinks the decision-making part of your brain and enlarges the emotional part of your brain. Right. And meditation reverses that. Meditation gives volume to your prefrontal cortex, decision-making, shrinks your amygdala, which is emotions, and really kind of essential kind of stuff. And that's what this documentary is about. It's my organization called Operation Prefrontal Cortex, and we made it with Headspace, meditation. All right. So in these discussions, again, we're talking about people with animal masks robbing rich people. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's fun, but we can have a little ceasefire. And on some real shit, please, y'all, watch this, share it. It's very important stuff. It can change a life. I've literally had people come up to me and talk about their friends who came out of jail, and they watched my TED Talk, started meditating, and completely changed. All the time, people, I used to be really angry. It's like, you got anger? If you have that, meditation will change that into a better way. It really will. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, this is really important stuff. And I want to see this community really become a positive force in the world and make things that should be seen and make things big, make things known. You know what I'm saying? And then we can calm the fuck down about fucking teenage Robyn.
I'll link it in the description for the next on the replay. Question that I want to ask is, what would you say to like a aspiring director that wanted to get into the industry?
I think everyone in the studio, I'm going to put the
you could pop it in there.
Quiet Minds. Someone please click on this, make sure that it works. Oh, see, I missed the C. That doesn't work. Copy. Let me try this again. Sorry, guys. Apologies. No www. My Did you see it come up?
Hold on. I gotta go to the channel. I might have to make you a mod so that it can show up.
Well, or you can just copy and paste it. Hopefully. It's doing weird shit. For some reason, it's skipping over the C, but it should be dot plus whatever.
You know what? Here, what you do? Send it to me in the private chat, and then I'll pop it in there.
All right. So, if you are a director, if you're any kind of creator,
your camera turned to the side.
What the hell? What is that about? That's weird. Why did you do that?
I have no idea.
What the fuck is that about? Huh. Do I need to do this?
There you go. There you go.
That's weird. Okay. Anyways, so if you're a creative at all, right? I think the most important thing is that you make things and show them, right? It's what makes things and show them. Hey, take a look at this, take a look, make things and show them. Work on your craft, study it. Back before we had the internet, I would go and go to the bookstore and buy every book I could on filmmaking. Right? So always honing your craft. You have all these opportunities now to make things and show them to people. Right, if that's what you want to do, just do your thing, man, and embrace this new technology. You guys are really so far ahead of the curve. This new generation has so many new opportunities that other people don't. I said when YouTube really started coming to the forefront, like there's a scenario that could happen that's possible, where we have all these young people come together and make an Academy Award-winning film. Just a bunch of, you know what I'm saying? Just a bunch of friends. Just make something absolutely incredible. So that's top of top. Make it, shoot it, show people. Get your young hustle on, especially while you're young. Yeah, because people give you a lot more leeway when you're 19 years old versus 35. So,
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Last question is, where do you want to see the Black industry, like movies, go?
I want to see us, just expand into all the genres, just honestly and fairly, right? And jokingly, I joke about making a white movie with an all-black crew. but that's really it. That it's not like, oh, it's a black thing, so it's a black director. Oh, it's a black, you know what I'm saying? That we're all just making things. You know what I'm saying? And really breaking down these barriers. We're gonna have all, because half this shit with people that have real, like the racist comments, you just don't know. You just don't know. You need to make some friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't make no sense to be racist or make racist comments. People are gonna like what they like. People are gonna hate what they hate. You have every right not to like Robyn Hood, but when you're coming at them with the fried chicken and stuff like that, that's the problem, right? You have every right to like it, or not like it. So I just think that some people need to chill. They need to get laid. You know what I mean? If they were getting some poom poom, they wouldn't be on the internet doing what they doing, bro.
Yeah. Some of this shit is given. Yeah. I mean, it should be fun. We should all be out here having fun, man. And what I'd like to see. But bigger for me, what I really want to see happen in the community is that this becomes part of pushing. Because if we get rid of the toxic shit, then it's harder for a studio to just disregard the feedback, right? Because to them, it's all one big lump of feedback, right? So you have all these, not all the comments are racist, but they're just mean. And they're trying to be hurtful. Maybe if maybe if you weren't, you know what I'm saying? All that weirdo shit. And then some of it's weird, like just racial shit, and all this stuff. But if we could, I mean, like you said, you can't police the crowd, but if we could get to a place where at least a perception of it, where it's not all blocked in, and people begin to listen, because, why the fuck does Ray know how to fix the Millennium Falcon? Why is, you know what I mean? Like, this shit is, Can we get some nerds? Can we get some nerds making nerd shit, please?
Why is she able to use the Force and Jedi mind trick just after hearing? No training, nothing, 100%.
Never even heard of a fucking Jedi mind trick. I don't think Luke even did a Jedi mind trick till the Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi, yeah.
And that was to show how far he had come as a Jedi. She hadn't even heard of it. Suddenly she just knew. You know what I'm saying? Like, she just knew that there was a Jedi. You didn't even know Jedis were real literally 2 minutes ago.
Facts.
Now you're doing Jedi mind tricks.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just, but again, when the toxic shit gets all mixed up in there, it makes it easy for a studio executive to say, whatever, right? I'm gonna go pick up my kid from karate. I ain't got time to fucking sift through all this toxic shit to find the one comment that might actually mean something, and then the YouTube channel, you know what I mean? So I'd love to see the community get to a place where they're really heard, but we're not going to get to that place till we really begin to weed out this fucking. You're not just speaking in a vacuum, or you are speaking in a vacuum because of what it is. You know what I mean? I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm just speaking into the wind and it means nothing. But I mean, that's where I feel.
I completely understand what you're saying, because I try to be like more positive than anything, right? Like, you know, there's things that I don't like, and I've trashed stuff and all of that. But at the same time, I feel like if we could be more critical and get rid of all, because not everybody that follows these channels are toxic, right? Some of them actually have real opinions and critical thinking on whether they liked it or not, or why they didn't like it. It's just the fact that the ones that sit out there and do the racist stuff are what's being talked about more than anything else. And I think if we could get rid of that, then we can have positive, more discussions that are beneficial to us. You know what I mean? Completely.
And you know, it's like sports, bro. A nice little, no one ever thinks about ESPN as being toxic, right? You can have a lively LeBron versus MJ debate, Kobe versus, and you can get lively and spicy and still, I mean, you can have that energy, and that's part of the fun. No one wants to just watch everyone be polite. Well, sir, if Star Wars The Force Awakens had like, that's no. Be passionate. Love the things you love. Absolutely. But it doesn't have to turn into like, we don't have to make this shit fucking toxic and fucking vile, bro. Like, let's behave ourselves a little bit. Let's have some decorum within. Let's be passionate and fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't want to beat you up over your fucking fucking Robyn Hood. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Yeah. You know yeah. Or how the Canadians, Habs, are the best hockey team ever in the Toronto. Should I finish that? No, you know what I'm talking about. You don't know. Thank you very much for blessing my stream, man. It was a pleasure. I had a great time speaking with you. Anything you want to say before you go to your next one?
Yeah, man. It's all love, brother. You see me. Like, we need to have these conversations. We need to talk to people we disagree with. I mean, I think that's really important, especially in today's day and age, when we're just so used to yelling at one another from across the room. If you don't agree 100%, then not only I'm not going to talk to you, I shouldn't talk to you. All that shit, we need to get enough. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really out here trying to make kids forgive murderers. You know what I'm saying? Like, let that go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, talking to Hypnotic next, who fucking this is light work. So that's really it, man. We, on a larger level, speaking to people we disagree with, coming to a balance of this stuff, seeing the culture really grow. It's something I want to see. I appreciate you, inviting me on, giving me a chance to have my say and talk about how I feel about all this stuff. It's been a long time since we've had such a, who would think this little fucking.
It's always a pleasure, man. I mean, bro. You know what I mean? Canadians stick together. They don't understand that. You know what I mean? These Americans don't understand how us Canadians are. But thank you once again. It's always a pleasure, man. And maybe we'll have a conversation next time again or whatever.
Yeah, when you're in Toronto, let me know. We'll bun one. You know what I'm saying? We'll you know what I mean? We'll have a talk.
Oh, I got fam down there, so I'm always traveling down there, man. I'll hit you up.
Let me know, bro.
Peace, everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for coming in. It was a pleasure. Take care. Peace. Bless.